you're still trying to figure out how to start an online business or how to get people to actually buy from you over the internet, I have some really good news for you that I think you're going to find really encouraging and super useful if your goal is to reach the 6 or even 7-figure level online.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Yo, yo, yo. Going cash today. It's summer, yo. All right, so happy Monday. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, July 6, 2021. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 18,000 foreign exchange traders stationed around the world. Today we'll cover technical analysis, fundamental analysis, summer trading, and whatever you want to cover. So again, let's go. So let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hello, my name is Wayne McDonald, and I am guilty of graduating from Harvard, so I got my Harvard shirt on today. Wicked smart! Coolio. So anyways, happy summer holidays. Whoa, getting focused. Happy summer. So my name is Wayne McDonald. I'm a currency trader just like you. Awesome. So like I said, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, trader psychology, macroeconomics, that's all fair game. You ask questions and I'll do my best to respond with logical, intelligent answers. Yeah, so I think we should go through the calendar today. I think that's going to be interesting. At least we set all that up. I'd like to thank you for all of the effort you put into making this community awesome. I've known many of you for well over a decade. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I've been doing webinars, Forex trading webinars for over 15 years. In fact, getting pretty close to 20 years. And you're like, wait, YouTube's not even that old. I know, right? Isn't that cool? So anyways, ask questions, get involved, take notes, write things down, leave comments on the recordings. I'd also like to thank Traders Way to be part of our community as well. So we have Forex traders, and every Forex trader needs a broker. Give them an opportunity, earn your loyalty and respect. If you like fast execution speed, great, they got it. Competitive spreads and fees, you got it. Big swaps, they got it. You want a fixed spread account for scalping, you got it. You want a variable spread account so you can get better prices, they got it. If you don't like spreads at all and you'd rather just pay fees, then hey, ECN is for you, man. Your way at Traders Way with Traders Wayne. So anyways, tradersway.com, open up a demo, get on board, join us, join the family. Here we are. Yo, yo, yo. Seems a little too high. That's probably, well, whatever. All right. How many hours do I read a day? Depending on the day, but 2, maybe. Okay. Anyways, yeah. All right, so let's take a look at where we are. The yen is cool. It's strong. And remember, starting back in May, mid-May, we were talking about a rotation of yen and dollar being weak, but dollar being weaker than yen, even though up until May, yen was weaker than dollar. Right? That we were going to rotate the trades from JPY slowly over to USD. So it's kind of interesting to see all of a sudden, in the first days of the second half, yen strength. And generally up until just the last couple of hours, I guess, dollar has been weak. So interesting. Okay. Mr. Sangham says Buffett recommends 600 pages every day. All right. Well. Okay. What else do you see? Euro coming down, but Kiwi going up, Aussie going up, CAD going up. That's interesting on the commodity side. Hua. And pound recovering. There's rumor or maybe an announcement. I don't know what day it is or what time it is, but at least a few days ago, there was a rumor that they were not going to close down despite COVID Delta problems. Yes, that's right, KG. Cool, right? So anyways, let's take a look at Aussie and CAD and Kiwi. As you probably recall, we were looking at double bottoms on many of these. Kevin says he's on the West Coast. Well, you're allowed to come even though you're on the West Coast. We're not going to ban you for being a crazy liberal. That's okay. Crazy liberals are welcome. Wear 2 masks. All right, let's take a look. Okay, Aussie Swissy. We'll just kind of look at dissect Aussie a little bit. Yeah. No, I know. Okay, interesting. Don't you stink? Let's take a look here. Just double check everything. Tight. You see that? Tight. This is a monthly period. In a matter of just a couple of days, we went from M3 to almost M4. Or sorry, M2 to almost M4. Shows you the compression from June. And I wouldn't expect July to have much more than what it's suggesting here. So where are we? 70? So this is amazing because looking at this chart, Aussie versus Swiss franc, there's only a 100 pip range, and I really don't expect much more than the 100 pip range. Okay. And then you'll say, a new trader will say, well, Wayne, the technical analysis, the technical analysis, the technical analysis, the technical analysis. Okay. Well, fundamentally speaking, I do not expect volume or volatility to suddenly take us north and have some really great trades. I'm not expecting something like this. Okay? Because I don't know where or why the volume and volatility would somehow just show up out of the blue. So instead, psychologically speaking, I look at key levels of support and resistance and instead assume some sort of, messing around up here until we get to August. What? All right, so maybe Swiss franc isn't the best currency pair to match this up with. So let's take a look at USD. So the question is, are you going to treat this as a bottom? Okay. Okay, bulls are going to try to take Aussie dollar. Okay, from 74.5 to, we'll just say 78. Okay. What do you think? Once again, I doubt new volume and volatility. I'm looking at levels of support and resistance. So these areas will be important in the near future. Okay. Now we know where the bears are going to sell. They're obvious. The real bears are probably closer to here, but this is our current sell zone. Okay. So that puts us on basically a range. And I think there's still a lot of selling pressure here. Okay. What I explained last week and the week before and the week before and the week before was there's still a little more pressure to leave this market than enter. but I think most people would have left on Friday, non-farm payrolls. Okay? So, again, we do not have normal volumes and volatility, and it's not really the volume and volatility per se that we, in this moment. It's that if I buy this, like let's say I buy a dip, will new money come in? And I can't count on it. So therefore, I can't say for sure. Okay? So if this market is still technically bearish, still making lower highs, or it's certainly not making higher highs, then the propensity is still to do this. That's what technical analysis is telling you. Even if you're a bull, okay, you had this shot, non-farm payrolls would have set that up. I mean, we talked about it and not a problem. In fact, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, I think it was, buying it at 75, right? Okay. So, cool. So now what? Well, it's still not making higher highs. Where will a bear sell? A bear sells in here. Okay. Okay. So as a bull, I'd say, boy, I hope it doesn't go below here, but hope's not a strategy, is it? So instead, I can tell you using technical analysis in a normal market, if a bear sold here, we're targeting way down here, 73. Okay. I'm not sure. I really can't tell you. Again, that would take selling, not profit taking. I think most of this move here was profit taking. To move down one more leg to 73, you need people selling at 75 and 76. Okay, so we're up here now close to 76. That means you actually need sellers, not people leaving the market, but people in the market actually selling this. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure we'll get that either. So I gotta play it safe. If I'm a bull, remember I need to buy dips. We'll take a look at, well, Aussie and Kiwi, they're both relatively strong. You can see that. New Zealand is a little bit stronger. Okay. And pound Aussie. I'm not going to do crosses like that. I mean, no, certainly not that cross. So let's then take a look at sort of the congruency. If Aussie is going to express, okay, if Aussie is going to express a buy, I want to see all these express a buy. Okay? And we call that correlation. So really, if Aussie dollar goes up, I want to see Kiwi dollar go up. I want to see Euro dollar go up. I want to see pound dollar go up. So right now, I'm deciding, what shall I do with the drunken sailor? No, wait. So instead, let's say we're kicking off of a weekly M2 held down by a monthly central. And roll reversal, obviously. So can we switch this to what? Day trading bullish bias? Yes. Okay. Okay. Which means in the next several hours, as a bull, you want to observe some sort of bouncy bounce. Okay. Think of it as a mean reversion trade, right? You believe you have a standard deviation here, standard deviation there, somewhere in the middle is a mean, and you're buying dips. Now, when you see the market, you should think about where the bulls would buy if there were bulls. Okay? Some will use price action. some will use Fibonacci, and some will use, I'll put 3 here, and some will use pivot points, for example. And you want to look at the confluence. Okay? And the more you can incorporate, the better, or let's say more likely, it'll hold. And you have to think about the market. So at any given time, so let's say you can see where we are. There's a whole bunch of buy orders. Okay? And the buy orders look like this because we know buyers buy low. Some of us might forget, right? But that's how it happens. And we also know sellers sell high. Okay, there's going to be a lot near the double top. There's going to be some near the retracement. And people will probably not want to sell here. Okay, bulls will probably not want to sell down here. Buy down here. That's too much for today, right? So we know there's a whole bunch of buy orders just below and a whole bunch of sell orders just above. And that's why you want to look at these reversion trades. You could say, well, somewhere between the mean and the standard deviation below, as long as we're making a high, so that's sort of a rule, right? You don't want to just buy 2 standard deviations below the mean when it's a bearish market. So you got to use something else besides just a mean reversion. But the slope might indicate bullish on this time frame, right? So you got to make some decisions. So it comes down to, have you made a decision? Are you going to buy this? Okay, there's yesterday's trading day, and we're tickling a 618 Fibonacci retracement of yesterday's trading range. You might also say, well, how about some price action pivot points? And I'm like, okay, great. Mr. Kennedy says, good morning. I want to thank you for the training I got on Aussie CAD. You got in. Thanks for the training. You got in on Aussie CAD as soon as the market opened on Sunday. And it's a gift that keeps on giving. Awesome. I don't even think that's a good trade, Mr. Kennedy. But hey, as long as you're happy and getting paid. See, Aussie and CAD, CAD's a little weak and Aussie is strong, but like Euro Aussie would have been 10 times better, huh? But anyways, cool. Cool beans. So what do you think? So anyways, if we got something moving along like this, then I want to see the same opportunities arise on the other pairs. Okay. Kiwi's too similar to Aussie. So let's take a look at Euro. Is it the same kind of market? No, not quite, huh? Now, the interesting thing here is this isn't really dollar strength. Okay? Okay, that's all. So that's Euro weakness. It's funny, these lines are still important, and that's why we use support and resistance. Okay. Kicking off the 55. So we've had a 55 kickoff, I guess you could argue here, 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 and now here. Is anyone learning why? Has anyone had a learning experience recently that taught them why they shouldn't trade against a trend? Okay. There's a difference between a bull buying in a rising market and a bull buying in a falling market. And often the learning experience is painful. But if you keep your powder dry, okay, you'll be fine. You'll learn the lesson. You'll have a drawdown. You're going to have drawdowns your whole entire life, so you got to be cool with it. You just have to learn how to, if you're juggling chainsaws, you just got to learn how to not cut an arm or a leg off, right? If you're going to be a snake charmer, you're going to get bit. Okay? So, a respect for your snake and a relationship with your snake will keep your your livelihood going. Okay? Yeah, I'm going to get there, Joey. Okay. So anyways, I look at this, and does this look similar to Aussie dollar? No. And that is, I guess it's a red flag. Okay, lack of correlation. But remember, I said in the month of July, you probably will get a lot more cross pair setups. And so for those that are doing that, awesome. The right time of year for that. All right. So looking at Pig Dog, I have resistance identified here. I don't even remember why. And it held. I don't remember why, to be honest with you. So that's cool. Right on. The rumor is that the pound might strengthen because they won't shut down the economy because of the Delta variant of COVID. All right. I'm not sure. I'll have to do some reading about that. It won't be today because today I'm writing a paper. So I'm still waiting for signs of not bearishness. Now, currently on the daily, this is technically bearish, so you should be selling rallies. Okay. On a 4-hour, it doesn't look, on a 4-hour, it's quite mediocre for bearishness. This just says you should be a bear. If you're a bear, you should be a bear, right? That kind of thing. And so we know as a bear, we want to sell at resistance or have setups like this, correct? Standard operating procedure. This is an OOP trade, and that is a difficult trade to take, especially if you don't expect new volume. Remember, new volume means you're going, right? So an OOP trade means you're going to be here in the next 24 hours. Well, that means if you sell here, you need lots of new sellers tomorrow, right? But I don't expect a lot of sellers tomorrow. It's summer, for crying out loud. Oh, is it the psych level? Oh, okay. So anyways, this isn't set up because it's right now it's out of position. So a bear wants it to rise higher so we could sell it. And again, I want you to think of this, that wherever we are in the moment, there are bearish orders above us and there are bullish orders below us. This is why you need to decide what team you're on and why it's really dumb to sell down here as buyers are coming in. Now, you don't know how many buyers and you don't know how many sellers. But even then, entering a trade when others are entering a trade short where others are entering trades long is just not very smart. You're right. Even if you're right, and let's say you sell down here and it goes to there, you'll say, what a good trader am I? And I'll say, well, you sold when everyone was buying. Not that you sold your profitable trade to an idiot buyer, but you were in with the buyers and you sold when price was more likely to go up, just on the short run, right? And you're basically betting that even though you're really late, other traders are going to come in and sell down there too. But that's rarely the case. If you make money here, do you know what's happening? The bulls that bought are getting stopped out. I want you to think about that. Traders that sell down here make money only if the bulls get overwhelmed and get stopped out. So where's the real money made? Selling up here. Okay? So I want you to kind of envision the market. Is anyone really buying here or selling here? And, you know, that's for you to decide, like, who's actually trading here? Right? If you were a seller, you would say, well, I kind of like it up here and maybe here and then maybe here. Would you guys agree with that? If you were a bear, you're like, well, I might sell a double top. I might sell, there's something in here, so I might sell that. But really, this area is my first level of sell, right? So you're like, so yeah, I might sell, and I might sell. Now, the interesting thing is I don't have this type of information. I don't have a ladder. But if I had a price ladder, I could almost certainly, that's where all the orders are. Why? Because that's how you trade. Don't forget the rules of engagement, folks. If you're a trader, you know where the bulls are and you know where the bears are. Why? Because they know how to trade too. It's the people that don't know how to trade that make a bloody mess of everything. Okay? So where would you sell this if you were a bear? Well, you'd like, well, I'd have to sell a double top. Then you're like, well, I see something in here, whatever that is. And what about here? Well, it's okay, right? But do you see anything amazing about that? We do have it highlighted. Again, I guess it's a psych level. I don't remember why I care about 39, but whatever. Okay. Maybe it's just a pissy little day trade for somebody. Cool. Right on. Good. Fine. Great. But boy, we nailed that, huh? See, look, it's 38.96. So anyways, great. So somebody sold it. Good thing you weren't a buyer, right? So now what? Those that are bulls have decided that they want to buy. Would a bull buy a double bottom? Yeah, probably. And then what about in here? Yeah, well, let's take a look at that. Why do I have it grayed out? Or in this case, grayed in. Okay, so would a bull trade a roll reversal? Would a bull trade a 3/8 to 50% 618 sweet spot? Right? Would a bull do something like that? Okay. Well, then it would be dumb to start selling it now. Okay. Only a gullah bear, not a gullah bull, right? A nincompoop would be selling now. And of course, if you ask somebody, why did you just sell it? Well, it's got a giant red candle, which means smart money already sold. So if you see a giant red candle and now you're selling, you are by definition late and not smart. Smart, dumb. Why? Because we know bulls are thinking about buying. So it'd be a terrible place to sell. I mean, selling for an entry. Selling for an exit is great. Look, if you got a profitable trade and you're like, hey, my friend, do you want to buy this from me? Hey, you're making a profit. That's great. You're hustling. That's great. But to sell as an entry, what? You so funny. I liked you. You crazy. Okay. So where would a bull buy? Well, a bull might buy in these fib zones. A bull might buy this roll reversal, which I have here. Okay. That would be all plan A, somewhere in there. Now you got to wait. Let's do this in a different color. Okay. That's your plan A. Wow, radically different color, Wayne. How about this one? Okay, plan A. Okay, and plan B would be sort of rinse and repeat down here, right? Are you challenging yourself to think this way yet? I think if you think about thinking about how traders think, your concept of the market will improve. Okay? So maybe this is something you practice over July. You create bullish and bearish trade plans, and you can take them. Typically, I wouldn't ask you to do that. You can do that now. Okay? Okay? Raymond says it's a psych level. I think it's a horizontal line, and I think what I did is I just snapped a line off of this. Because you can see it's based on that. It's based on that. It's based on that. Okay, it's based on that. But anyways, look, if you're a bear, I mean, okay, let's go back to what, right, so 39 being the psych level. Right? Ray says 39. Maybe one of the things I was talking about is this pattern that you need to memorize. And it has to do with market trending or market moving, really. And you can see from here, we drop through a psych level. And in a situation like that, in particular, if this move was down and then this was up, so you basically come down to around 39. And then it comes up, okay, and then you breach 39, then this is the classic move. Okay? A trend trader is going to sell this. Okay? So let's think about that. A trend trader, a momentum trader. They're going to be in this longer. Okay? They're not going to exit here. Okay? They're not going to exit here. This is a trend trade. Okay? If the plan looked like this. Okay? If the plan looked like this, let me get my drawing tool. Okay? If their plan was down, 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 up, up, sell, down, 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 up, up, sell, then they're planning on a new down, down, down. Whoop. So there's going to be a real battle. Okay? There's going to be a real battle at some of these places. There's going to be a real battle here, and there's going to be a real battle here. Bulls versus bears. So we really need bulls to come into the market. And remember, I have my doubts about new trades. But we need bulls to overwhelm these traders. They're not going to give up. It wasn't the point of the trade. You understand that? Okay. Ray says it was also a double WM3. Okay. But they're not going to give up is the bigger point. So bulls will have to overwhelm the number of bears. Okay. And we're going to get into a big war up here as well. And another big war up here. And another big war up here. This is why, that's why in the month of July, go ahead and do shorter term trade strategies. Totally happy with that. Okay. But these don't all look like equal opportunities. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's take a look. Let's do some gold. Let's do some oil. Let's do some Bitcoin. Yeah, boy. Base. How low can you go? All right. So oil's been rallying. As we talked about last week, OPEC wasn't going to be able to come to a decision. And it was then later announced that they couldn't come to a decision. I love it, right? I think Bloomberg told me today. I'm like, today? I talked about it last week. Thanks, Bloomberg. Okay. So anyways, what can we glean from all of this? Well, first of all, fundamentals move this market. But B, look at that, okay? That targets this. So according to technical analysis alone, remember, the algorithm doesn't know what asset class we're measuring. But the pattern that technical analysis likes says this is going to drop to $73, $72.80. Okay. And if you don't like that, stop using pivot points. Okay. Now, you might have to thread the needle on this one, though, because that's what price action says. Okay. But here says, don't like the timing in the week to be a bull. Okay. Yeah. I still think some money is going to come out of this market before it goes neutral. I don't think we're quite neutral. I think we're almost neutral. But anyways, so if you are a bull, okay, we have this idea that 73 might be our number. We might have to take a trade anyways on a plan A idea. So I break this down. Plan A, and be prepared to lose on plan A, and plan B. Remember, it's okay to lose. It's only a trade. Right? All right, so you have this idea that when we've been this stretched in the past, it did hold. Okay? And it's not just reliance on an EMA. This is a price action role reversal. You are at a central M2 area. This is a buy zone for the week. Now, again, this is telling you to be careful that is much more likely than normal. Okay? So maybe incorporate that in your lot size. Make your lot size small so that your stop can be below 73. But here's the interesting thing. The way I teach you how to trade in the day trading course, in the swing trading course, that's where your stop is anyways. People always ask me, where do I put my stop? Below support. Where's support? Well, this is support. So maybe put your stop below support. Now you don't even have to think about it anymore. It's easy. Cool. So now you're going to have to ask yourself, up or down? Well, I asked you about a week ago, like, are we on our way to 80 or are we on our way to 60? Okay. And your answer to that determines on what you're going to do. Okay. Now, the funny thing is you might say to yourself, well, I can't buy it. We're at 75. I can't buy it. It's too expensive. Well, did you buy it at $5? Did you buy it at $15? Did you buy it at $25? Did you buy it at $35? Right? Like, right? Isn't it funny? Did you buy oil when it was free? Right? So here we are. It was free. Now it's $74.30. At some point, decisions need to be made. What? So is this going back to 100? Actually, I don't know how far out this one goes. See, it's not a true future. Anyways. So this says the peak on this chart was 116. Cool. So anyways, make a decision and then decide whether you're going to trade it technically or not, and sort of combine day trading with swing trading and be conservative on your swing trading. Okay, remember, you're shooting at rabbits. Don't forget what you're trying to do. Match up your expectations with market reality. Oh, I know you want to make 300 pips on these trades. Hey, you're shooting at rabbits. Okay? Don't worry about it. Set up your snares. Okay? Focus on the job. Just set up the snares. Set up more snares. All right. Let's move over to Goldie. Gold. I love gold. I love gold. I love gold. Cool. And I've loved gold for a while. Cool. Why? I'm a dollar bear. Oh, Alone? No, I have not been watching Alone. What is Alone? Yeah, it's funny. Most people watch TV, so I'm doing a class at Oxford right now, right? So, I'm going to spend the day writing papers. Well, I have one paper to write. And then pretty soon I'll be reading again. So, yeah, I don't do a lot of watching. I haven't played video game in a long time. Anyways, but I don't know Alone. Actually, never even heard of it. Maybe it's an Apple thing. All right, cool. So anyways, gold. Okay, great. We're rolling here. A survival show? Cool. Yeah, now that makes sense. No, I don't watch those Naked and Alone or something. No, I just do the naked part. Are people really watching Naked and Afraid because they're like, hey man, if I'm ever lost in a rainforest naked, I'll know what to do? Or do people just watch because they're like, butts and boobies? Oh, look, you might see boobies. Is that a boobie? Okay. So anyways, I spent a lot of time doing esoteric research. What do you do for fun, Wayne? Esoteric research. ISM? Yeah, it's services too. Yeah. Cool, thank you. So anyways, check that out. So I need to buy a dip. Do you think there will be bulls here? Okay. And do you think there will be bears here? Cool. So if bears do their job, you'll buy a dip. Cool. Well, let them do their job. Just let them do their job. It's cool, man. Let the bears do what their bears want to do. Give them the opportunity to make some money. Like, why are you so greedy? Well, Wayne, if I hold it, it just might go all the way up here. I'm like, dude, why are you so greedy? I told you, shoot at rabbits. Take your profit. Let bears have their turn. Let them make some money too. And then you can buy it back. Okay? And then you can make some money here. Okay? But just don't be greedy. Give other people a chance to make some money, for crying out loud. Okay, think about it that way. All right, bears, I'll give you a shot. Go ahead. That's cool. I'll sell you my position. Because remember, people are like, hey, can I sell here? Can I sell here? Can I sell here? And you're like, yeah, you know what? Go ahead. I'll sell you my position. You're like, I bought it here way back on Sunday. And yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. You can have it. All right, go ahead. And you sell them your position. And now they're short. And you're out. Cool. Right on. And then they're going to be down here and they're like, hey, I wonder if I can sell my position to someone else. And you're like, yeah, I'd like to buy it back. So you come in and you buy it. And now you're long and they're out. Cool. You're just sharing. Think of it that way. You're just sharing the gold. Ethereum doing its thing. I'm still here at 2K. Doesn't look like much, right? But the market is up almost 30%. You're like, what? Wait, since the beginning of the month? You're like, yeah. Isn't that funny? No, it's not true, is it? It's 15%. Sorry. But that's still a pretty good year for the stock market. You're like, wait. Right? You bought it basically the last day of June. So let's just call it the first day of July. And 6 days later, the entire market, not my position, the entire market is up 15%. Wouldn't you guys like to have a 15% rally in the stock market in less than 2 weeks? Wouldn't that just be like, it's almost 1 week. Can you imagine a 15% rally in 1 week in the stock market? Holy smokes, that'd be redonkulous. But then again, that's almost impossible because most stocks are priced based on their levels of profit and future expected profit levels, right? Ethereum is like, well, you know, people are going to use smart contracts one day. Cool. Yeah, Michael, based on a tweet. But whatever. Look, whatever. Just make money. Who cares? This is an asset class. So when I was practicing to take the Series 3 test, and I still lived in California, Overallis. So 2005, maybe? Yeah, so let's say it's around 2005. It was cool because it was up in the city, and I lived in the burbs, and I used to live in the city, so I'm like, man, I got to go to the city. So I get up, I stay at the Ritz-Carlton, if you know San Francisco, right there on Nob Hill. I was married just a little higher up Nob Hill. So, you know, it's stomping ground, right? So anyways, so the Ritz-Carlton on Nob Hill, I get there 1 or 2 days early just to really start to focus and study because it's a tough test, right? So I've studied for weeks, but then just really crammed and took it very serious, right? And then I was at the same time taking a class before you take the test. So then I go into the class and they had a young trader. And he was about my age, and I don't know how old I was back in 2005. I think it was 9. So, anyways, he was 9 as well, and so during the break, I'm like, "Hey, so what's up?" And he's like, "Well, I got hired like 2 days ago." I'm like, "Wait, you got hired?" And they're like, "Yeah, go pass the Series 3." So he just like literally, you have less than a week to be hired and pass the test. So anyway, so I was talking with him about the bank and all that kind of stuff. And I said, "So what do you trade?" And he says, "You know what? We'll trade anything as long as there's someone on the other side." Okay? Anything. I'll trade anything as long as there's volume, right? As long as there's liquidity is another way of saying it. Okay. Thank you, Mahir. I got a 98.7, maybe a 99.8 final grade. On my first week, I got 93. So you do tests and then a paper at the end of the week, right? And I got a 93.3 in week 1. And I figured out what they want, how to structure it. And then in week 2, I got 100%. Week 3, I got 100%. On week 4, I got 100%. And week 5, I got 100%. And week 6, I got 100%. Meanwhile, they're like, "This is a brilliant paper." Cool. Well, obviously, I'm a professional student now, so I can write a paper on any bullshit you want. But anyway, so did well. I think the average grade was like an 80.1 or something. So a B minus, which is a passing grade. That's what most people do. All right. So, yeah. But think about this, guys. Like, I'm being a little facetious, but not entirely. Okay? As long as you're convinced the market is moving technically, you can trade it. Now, it helps to be somewhat fundamental. Okay, great. Well, you're already fundamental on dollar, so you're not necessarily cornering the market on Ethereum or Ether, right? Cool. So you could still be a dollar trader, and you're like, well, as a hedge, sorta, you're trading all asset classes. You're betting on more horses. And we're starting to get into this in the Oxford program because it's all about, so we're looking at how large institutional investors in particular will take one thesis. So if you want to make this like thematic trading, okay, is your anti-USD idea. And then in situations where you see the dollar weak, you trade the dollar for anything. Who cares? As long as you think there's a market for it and it's trading technically. Because you've already made the fundamental decision. You see this? And so what if gold goes up XAU, okay? What if gold goes up 1%? Okay, euro goes up 0.2%. Okay, pound is negative 2%. Yen, because you want that to fall. So let's say the opposite is true. That's up 1%, right? Okay, whatever. Negative 1%. Let's put it that way. Okay, and you're trying to like spread this out and make some money, and you don't really want to be selling dollar versus yen, so that shouldn't actually happen. That's why you don't do it, to avoid that. So you're like, okay, these offset each other. Oops. Okay, These offset each other, and you're still up 1% in your portfolio, but you've diversified and lowered your risk, right? But what if you continued the theme and you found out Bitcoin went up 10%? Well, that would really change things, right? Yeah, the miners, yeah, so when China went dark, 1 or 2 weeks ago, ASIC machines crashed and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so hey, I'm interested in very large scale mining operations, and so if you know very large scale miners that could drop, a couple of $1 million on a new project because they're exiting China and they need to set up shop somewhere, I can help. Let me know. Okay. Yeah. So Hope says lower risk to the miners now, right? Well, the algo adjusted so that the puzzles are 28% cheaper. So it's significantly faster to mine a block. Okay. Yeah. All right. So now you want to be open to a lot of asset classes, but then you want to say, well, XAU, but then WTI and Brent, okay, and Bitcoin. And you really want to develop your thesis more and more and more, okay? And scale it up and scale it out. Yeah, Michael, but you were probably using a GPU and, probably not pooled and a bunch of other things. Like I said, if you guys know someone that has already been running, they've been already farming and they have to leave and they want to set up shop somewhere new with cheap electricity, and they got millions. I don't want like a dreamer. He's like, well, I got one rig. If you know someone that could drop millions of bucks and they want to get set up hard and fast, I can hook you up, but I need to know who you are. Cool. So anyways, build a thesis is what I'm saying. So you're like, I don't know anything about this crypto stuff. Hey, whatever. Is it trading technically? Yeah, it seems like people buy the dip. And is it possible that some of this is dollar and some of this is macro return to risk? Remember, I was describing this period here as people exiting risk, okay? And that this is a period of a return to risk. Okay? So you might be getting the risk on trade, the reflation trade, the dollar weakness trade, and so therefore maybe this is a good trade. Okay? You see, you can use stop losses when using crypto. Yeah, Cardano I find very, very interesting. That's sort of my new favorite one, Hope. So anyways, what do you guys think? Think of the attitude. I will trade anything with $1 on it. How about that? $60. Wow, that's a good number, Nuno. Thank you. Nuno, look at the employment subcomponent. All right, you know what? I can just bring it up. ISM. I'll just pull it up. Hang on. It's so easy. Why don't I just do it? All right, 60.1. Thank you, Nuno. Employment subcomponent index. Ho, ho, ho. Ho. Our restaurants are quickly, maybe too quickly. Oh, by the way, I took the family to Six Flags, which is poor people Walt Disney World. I don't know what to call it. Yeah, roller coaster park. I took my kids there 4th of July, the big weekend, right? The big weekend. And I bought everyone, everyone got their $27 Coke, right? like you get a cup. And none of the refill stations were open. Half the food, restaurants were shut down and closed. Half the rides were closed. And therefore you had to, regular people would wait an hour or more for a ride. But I was wondering, like, why? Do they not plan properly? Like, right? Do they not plan properly? Or did they lose so much money last year that they're just kind of screwing people over this year to try to get back to profitability? Can they not find people to work these places? Like, if half the restaurants are closed, why? They couldn't find servers? I mean, all you have to do is take a horrible, nasty, microwaved, maybe even boiled hamburger and stick it on a nasty, cheap bun. You don't even put a lettuce or tomato on it or anything, and you throw it in a basket. Like, what kind of job is that, right? But those places were closed, and I was wondering if it was a labor shortage, right? Anyways, so as an economist, I thought, it was interesting, like, the experience was horrible. Really sucked. Like, the website promises you amazing stuff. Then you get there and you feel like they're screwing you over. Like, the sun is going down and half the rides didn't have the lights on yet. And the lights are cool when everything's spinning. I'm like, why aren't the lights on now? Oh, well, maybe if they do it a little bit later, they'll save a nickel, right? Yeah, but they're ruining my experience, right? So anyways, it's just kind of funny. They certainly cut corners. But I wonder why there was such a labor shortage. Could they not open up the other rides because they didn't have people to be there? Or were they broken and they didn't have the money to fix them? Or they couldn't get engineers to fix them, or because there's a shortage of labor? Like, just really interesting. Cool. Anyways, our restaurants are quickly, maybe too quickly, returning to last year's sales levels. Why? Strong consumer demand for dining out is clearly evident. COVID-19 restriction ease. Yeah, okay. Cool. Challenges are supply chain outages, logistics delays, and employee and managing staffing constraints. So still supply chain and labor force issues. Okay. Lots of deliveries, lumber, copper shortages. New business is actively trending up, locally, nationally, and internationally for finance insurance. That's good. Employees globally are returning to office where possible. Business conditions continue to rebound. However, challenges in supply chain are numerous. Labor market remains tight. Wages have risen at an unprecedented rate. Okay, for warehousing. Truck drivers and warehouse workers are going to get wage increase. increased orders. Very expensive ocean freight because everyone's ordering all at the same time because they haven't been ordering in the past. Right? So that's freight, but what about yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure, huh? It was 400, now it's 3,200. So yeah, prices are way up. But it can go higher. Okay? Back before the housing crash, it was very, 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 very expensive. Right? 12,000 on the Baltic Dry Index. So we're at 3,000 now, and you're like, yeah, it's elevated. It ain't crazy yet. Okay, you see that? So we're at the high end of, I wouldn't call it average. 25 is probably average. This can go as high as 5,000 and be very high, but still not even half of the peak. But you have to realize that not long ago, just a year or two ago, this was basically zero. Okay? Now, this isn't inflation per se. This is demand for shipping, demand for natural resources. Okay? Cool. Take a look at Biddy. And it ain't doing much at all. Okay, I have the support here, which is about our S1. I just double check this is monthly. That's weekly. Yeah, not a lot going on. I'm long at 30 and we're at 34. Okay, so at least we have a positive slope. Can you see it climbing? How many people think I could hold this trade till the end of the year? Hmm? Huh? How many people think I can hold this to the end of the year? Yeah? Well, not that I will. How about this? How many people here think I should hold it to the end of the year? Well, No, my stop loss is already at break even. You can already see it, right? I don't think you can see it on a 5 minute. Yeah, you can see it right there. Right? I'm just trying to show. Okay. So yeah. Olin says no. You think it's going to drop even lower? Cool. Well, I have an order at 25 and then 20. And of course the 20 is the biggie, right? If you guys remember 20,000 was the old high, see? Oh, that's a nice one, Barry. I have some very rare Monte Cristos that are supposed to be showing up today. A box of 25. I don't remember the name. Epic Craft Cured. This is it. I just bought these. Oops. Stupid Windows. All right. Yeah, I just bought these. Leafs grown in 2006. Should be arriving today. I don't think mine are from 2006 though. This is an older article, but anyways, it's old though. Now I got the Toro, not the Robusto. Yeah. I also bought 35 Cohibas. I accidentally bought a box, and turns out it had 25 sticks in it. I'm like, what? How much? What? I bought a box with 20, and I bought another box with 10. So anyways, so I'm like, oh shit. Holy smokes. And they're not small cigars either. Like, so a box of 25, that's a big box. So anyways, I got cigars for a while. Olin says, yeah, I'd guess one last spike down. It's in its nature. Maybe. Yeah. So like I said, if it drops, I'll buy it. I'm okay. As long as there's $1 on the other side of the trade. Okay. So I can't lose money. It's just you have the execution risk that you have to get back in on the way down, because I don't think Bitcoin is worthless. Okay. So anyways, right now on this day chart, it's still very, very bearish for sure. And maybe it's on its way to 25. Well, how would I say something like that? Well, this is why we use technical analysis. Okay. So if we are sellers, Okay? We want to sell Bitcoin right here. And if we're sellers of Bitcoin, our target is right here. And you'll see I'm not a seller, I'm a buyer. And I already have an order right here. You see it? Buy limit order. And it's right here. So somebody's already done his homework. So if I get knocked out here, if the M2 does not hold, it should hold. It's supposed to hold. Okay, you see that? This is supposed to hold. So if it holds, I'm going to make money now. If it doesn't hold, I'm going to buy it down here at 25, and or I'm going to buy it down here at 20. So it's just a trade. Now, it's still very, very bearish. This says bearish. This says the low of July is going to be 25. And that doesn't sound surprising. And so somewhere between 20 and 25, I'm going to start buying this asset. Okay? Because I'm also will be selling USD. So that means whether it's here or here, by the time we're in August, I will be a buyer. Okay? So I'm already long. I might go longer later in the month. I might go long next month. And we'll play it. We'll see how we end the end of the year, right? So it's not a statement of cryptocurrencies. It's just a trade. Okay. Yeah, the fundamental reason for the 10-year yield, it's not a rate, it's a yield. Why is that falling? Well, the Fed is still buying. So people are still front running the Fed. Okay. Also, based on seasonality, people are taking profit on the stock market, or should be, in other markets as well, and locking it up in a 10-year. But mostly it's the Fed. If the Fed was not a buyer of treasuries, then we would not be trading at 1.5%. Okay. But the second part, the question was, why is the dollar going up? That's seasonality. That is to be expected. Okay? And we expected that to happen around June 16th. So, after June 16th in 2020, I said traders are going to take profit June 16th. This is last year now I'm talking. So around the middle of June, I said traders are going to leave the markets and go on vacation with their family. And then the following Monday, I showed up for our webinar, and I was on the beach with my family. And I used that as an educational point. This year, I sent my family away to go to the beach, and I stayed home to work and do school and trade and stuff like that. Okay? Okay? Hang on. youtube.com/Forex.Today. Mainly on the plains, the Yans in France. Stay mainly in your ponds. Morning, everybody. Down on the beach today. Brought a headset just in case. We'll see. How's it going? This is a learning example. This is an example. So by this time,
so at least I have this. If this is a problem,
looks like June 10th. So it was the Monday after the Fed meeting.
Happy summer. Happy Fed Day, huh? Let me remind you that trading's risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term. Never risk money, cannot afford to lose.
And even though it didn't happen much, we were expecting dollar strength, or at least the propensity to have more dollar weakness. Anyway, more dollar strength.
So, please confirm. How's the sound? Yeah. So anyways, hopefully you guys can hear me. Look.
Oh, an ad. Nice. Okay, so anyways, by the middle of June, it has to do with the Fed meeting, the Monday after the Fed meeting, I expect people to leave the market and go on vacation. Typically, it depends on the market conditions and stuff, but typically that means dollar strength and yen strength. Now, last year, we had dollar strength for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, I think, and then the dollar weakened and the yen stayed weak. This year, different market conditions were worried about the Fed changing in a way that's counter to what was last year. So in that case, the market did sell off. People were getting out before vacation. Okay. So I will continue to be sort of bearish, meaning like I'm neutral on the dollar right now, but by the time we hit September, October, November, I will be bearish on the USD. So right now I'm neutral. And again, the neutrality. So, well, first of all, I hope that explains why the dollar is strong. Okay. People are not buying dollar. They already had dollar. They sold their dollar and traded it for something else. Think about this. They already gave up their dollar for an investment opportunity. This is them selling their investment opportunities that they took 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, and they're getting their dollars back. That's a lot different than people buying the dollar. They're getting their dollars back. And they sold the other thing. So my theory is, as we get closer to the fourth quarter, they will want to exchange their money again, because remember, it's just money. So they want to exchange their money and buy a new investment opportunity. So that's all. The dollar's strong because no one's investing right now. So don't get confused. They're not buying the dollar. Okay. And I expect it this time of year, every year, generally, whatever the market conditions were, because it's not always these market conditions, but this time of year has a seasonality as an issue. Okay? Okay? Remember, rich people are not working right now. Rich people are on vacation. They don't have to work. Their money is making more money for them. Okay? My stock market portfolio is up 15% in the last 8 weeks. Making money while I sleep. Log in. I'm like, oh, I made more money. Yay! Right? That's how it works. That's how you do. So anyways, let's leave it at that. Thank you for being part of my team. Thank you for being here every day. Thank you for all you do. Please visit tradersway.com. Give them an opportunity and earn your loyalty and respect. You do that by opening up a demo account. And please tell YouTube that this is quality content and that they should promote it. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. And oh, yeah. Wicked smart.